All right, Captain Womble, Los Angeles. Captain Trask, Houston. Remember, the pregame toss was won by Los Angeles. Los Angeles will go to this goal and receive down here. Houston will go over here and kick in this direction. We'll go right away, gentlemen.
Well, we're all set for the start of this American Football League Championship game. The teams have labored long and hard to get into this spot. And there we see George Blanda, the pro football veteran, number 16, whom you'll see a quarterback teeing up the ball. And back deep, standing on the goal line for the Los Angeles Chargers, who, by the way, are the underdogs in the game. Paul Lowe, number 23, and Freddie Ford, number 20. Two guys certainly capable of going all the way with the ball. Let's see how it starts. Paul Lowe, second leading ground gainer in the league, takes it on the 6. That's the 15. That's the 20, and that's all. Mike Dukes, number 30, whom you'll see a good deal of, as the right linebacker for Houston on defense, made the stop on Paul Lowe in a bruising start to what we know is going to be a dandy football game.
I think you could see from the way he was hit on that play, Jack, that these boys are really fired up and ready to play football. They're charged up high as a kite.
Jackie Kemp is the quarterback. You'll see him come out of there with his fullback, Howie Ferguson. The halfback is Lowe. And Royce Womble is the flanker to the right with the left end split out. There's Paul Lowe, the halfback, finding room up to the 30 for a substantial gain of about 6 yards. Mark Johnston, the halfback, cornerback, came up and made the stop on him. It'll be second down coming up, 2nd and 4. Both of these ball clubs, not all ball clubs in the American Football League, have the individual names on the back of the uniform. Helps you to pick them up when you watch them on TV. Womble is flanked to the right. There's Jackie Kemp. Back to throw on second down, and he hits his end out there, Norton. And that's going to be enough for a first down. Don Norton, who has had to fill in the starting lineup of the Los Angeles Chargers, caught the Jackie Kemp pass. He's 1 for 1. Kemp was the leading passer in the American Football League. The ball is on the 38-yard line of Los Angeles. These two ball clubs split during the regular season. In a preseason game, Los Angeles won it. 1st and 10 to go from their own 38. The first pass completion, the first down of the afternoon. Womble, flanker to the right. Don Norton caught the last pass. He split out to the left. Jackie Kemp calls the signals. Gives to his halfback, Paul Lowe. Picks his spots, gets some yardage. And then he's gang tackled by Houston. Led by Mark Johnston from Northwestern, with Dennett Morris, the middle linebacker, in on the stop.
You could see a good example then, I believe, of Paul Lowe's individual ability to run. The play was called off tackle. He went up, found no hole there, bounced out a little bit around the offensive end, again found no hole, and finally ended up running wide. It takes a great back to be able to do that, to change direction so quickly.
And he got 5 yards on it up to the 43-yard line of Los Angeles. Same setup. Norton split to the left. Womble flanked to the right. Lowe and Ferguson in the backfield with Jackie Kemp. Over the ball, Don Rogers, and there's a fake draw. The flare pass to the halfback. Lowe is almost to midfield before he's out of bounds. Jim Norton, the halfback, ran him out. The fake draw play and the swing pass to the halfback, Paul Lowe. And that's the second first down of the afternoon for Los Angeles. The ball's on their own 49. Houston was the number 1 offensive ball club in the American Football League during the regular season. Los Angeles was number 3 in that department. Both clubs pretty well down the list defensively, giving you an idea of the action that's in store for you this afternoon. No score in the ball game. 12:26 left in the first quarter. Norton to the left, Womble to the right. Kemp checks the situation. At a time, stays in the pocket over the middle to Norton. And Norton and Kemp are 2 for 2. Mark Johnston making the tackle, and Kemp really had something on that ball.
It's a typical Kemp pass. He throws that thing like a bullet, just as a catcher would throw down to second base in a baseball game. They said one of the difficulties they had with Kemp early in the season was getting him to throw the ball a bit more softly. His receivers were having a difficult time catching the ball because he threw it so hard.
Kemp is able to run as well. He's 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, played at Occidental. This is his 4th year of professional ball. Flanker right, left hand split, 1st and 10 to go. The ball deep into Houston territory now on the 33. That's 3 for 3 as Royce Womble catches that one. Kemp is 3 for 3 in the passing department with Al Witcher, the linebacker, number 88, along with Jim Norton, the cornerback on that side, making the tackle. A gain of about 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7. This is when the yardage gets tough. The ball's on the 30-yard line, and 2 very formidable place kickers are on these respective ball clubs, with Ben Agajanian, a member of the Chargers, and George Blanda, outstanding kicker for the Oilers. It's 2nd down, 2nd 7. There's a give to the halfback, low, hit shy of the line of scrimmage. Kemp tried to carry out a fake that time, but Mike Dukes, the linebacker, wasn't fooled and made the tackle. Dukes played at Clemson. This American Football League has certainly made a lot of yardage of its own during its initial season. Quite a contrast in the play in the past few weeks as compared to the beginning of the season. Here's a 3rd down play. 3rd and 7. Trying to hit Norton again. Norton got away from his man. Mark Johnston had that all-important step on him. And as George Ratterman pointed out a while ago, that Kemp throws so hard, and that might have been one of those cases, George, it just bounced right off his chest.
It was hard to tell from here whether he just missed the ball or whether it was deflected slightly by the defender. Perhaps the defender didn't touch it, but he may have taken a swipe at it with his hand, and even though he missed the ball, caused the receiver to miss it.
Here's the oldest man in professional football, number 3, Ben Agajanian in there. The ball is being held by Bob Garner. A field goal attempt of some 38 yards. Watch it. Got a good crack at it. It's good. And Los Angeles scores first in this championship game. The score here at Jefferson Stadium. The Chargers 3, Houston Oilers nothing. And now, the Houston Oilers will get the ball for the first time this afternoon. Jack Buck and George Ratterman on hand here in Houston. Hope that you're enjoying this New Year's Day. Hope you're enjoying the football game. As Ben Agajanian, number 3, 41 years old, out of retirement no less than 5 times, tees the ball up after booting a 38-yard field goal. Deep for Houston. Ken Hall closest to you, number 21, and Billy Cannon, number 20. Houston's down by 3. A flag is down. The ball's taken by Hall, who's averaged more than 30 yards per return. He dances around, gets out almost to the 25. As we indicated, a flag is down. Los Angeles was offside on the kickoff. Now let's see what the Houston Oilers choose to do. Will they take it on the 25 or take a chance on a better run back by Ken Hall? Lou Rimkus, the coach of the Oilers, chatting with Ken Hall, who came to the sideline. Offside, Los Angeles is indicated, and they're going to boot it over.
I believe a normal good run back of a kickoff will bring the ball out to about the 35-yard line, and they only returned that one to the 25, so that's the reason they decided to take the penalty instead of the run back on that play.
Plus the 5-yard penalty, George, and the good speed of Billy Cannon and Ken Hall back there. The odds pretty well favored the penalty as far as Houston was concerned. Hall was the leading kickoff returner in the league, averaging some 31.5 yards per carry. Now the ball's on the 35. Cannon and Hall are waiting. A line drive kick. Hall again on the 7. And he got exactly that 5 yards that Los Angeles had been penalized. Out to the 30. Charlie Flowers, a teammate of Billy Cannon's, by the way, at Mississippi, number 41, made the tackle on Ken Hall. The ball's on the 30. Figured out perfectly mathematically, George. Well, now we'll watch George Blanda, the counterpart of Jackie Kemp. Quarterback Blanda. In the backfield, Dave Smith and Billy Cannon. There's Cannon, number 20. Not too much doing there. Maurice Schleicher, the defensive end, number 81, on the bottom of the pile. He played at Penn State, a 240-pounder. Schleicher's on the front line, along with Volney Peters, Gary Finneran, and Ron Neary. The linebackers are Ron Botchin, Emo Karras, and Rami Loud. It's second down and 9 yards to go from their own 31 for the Oilers. Here's the left-handed fullback. He wanted a pass and just barely got back almost to the line of scrimmage. We have to watch Dave Smith, who played his football at Ripon. He's a 205-pound fullback and an all-league selection. He's a left-handed thrower and rather accurate when he tosses that ball. Volney Peters led the defensive work on the part of the Chargers, who are out in front 3-0 in this ball game. Emo Karras, the middle linebacker, number 56, in on the play. Charlie Hennigan is the flanker to the right. The left end, Bill Groman, is split out. This is third down. Blanda throws his first pass, and Hennigan falls down. Gives you an idea of the footing here at Jefferson Stadium. He was being covered by Jim Sears, but as Hennigan tried to cut, the footing gave way, and a punt is coming up. Charlie Milstead, number 12, is into the ball game. Sears is one of the deep men, and the other is Dick Harris, number 36. As Milstead stands inside his 20, a low pass from center. Not going to have any trouble getting it away. Ball is being taken by Harris on the 26-yard line. Houston's down there in pretty good shape. But there goes Harris for plenty of yardage down the sideline and almost to midfield, past midfield. Charlie Milstead, who booted the ball, finally made the tackle on it. You get through that first wave of tacklers, why, you can really eat up that yardage. And Dick Harris had the speed to do just that. Leading 3-0, the Chargers have the ball in Oiler territory on the Houston 48, first and 10 to go. Houston unable to do very much with their one offensive effort. 8:48 left in the first period. Los Angeles leading 3-0. Womble to the right, Norton to the left. Ferguson and Lowe in the backfield along with Jackie Kemp. Kemp keeping the ball, rolling out, wants to run and gets a couple of yards. Mark Johnston came up fast from the cornerback spot and ran him out of bounds. Mike Dukes, the linebacker on that side, number 30 also covering. There's Kemp. Shades of Al Doro, the New York Titans, who likes to run with that ball. Kemp had no idea of throwing that time. Rolling out to his left. It's second down. Let's call it 10, although he gained a foot or two on the play. Ball on the Houston 47. Five-man line for Houston. Here's the halfback, Paul Lowe, coming this way. Gets that good block. Still on his feet, still in bounds. Mike Dukes finally got to him. A dandy block was thrown by Fred Cole, number 66. You saw him cut down that cornerback. And Paul Lowe, the second leading ground gainer in the American Football League, second only to Abner Haynes, really took advantage of it.
You notice Lowe has wonderful leg action when he runs. He's a long-legged fellow, and he gets out there. If anybody tries to tackle him low from the knees on down, why, he simply lifts his leg up and steps right over them and has very high knee action when he runs.
The ball is on the Houston 23, first and 10 to go. Womble to the right, Norton to the left. Kemp back to throw, looking for Norton. Then he hits him out there, and Norton is down inside the 10-yard line. Mark Johnston covering, but a very difficult pass to stop. That quickie to the split end, Don Norton. Bobby Gordon, the safety man, came up to help out. Gordon played at Tennessee, Mark Johnston at Northwestern. It's surprising how many rookies took jobs away from veteran football performers. There's Lou Rimkus, the coach of the Oilers. His ball club's in trouble. It's second down and 2 from the 10-yard line. Second and 2. Los Angeles already leading 3-0. A fake to the fullback, Kemp looking for the big 6 points. Throws incomplete. He threw incomplete. Royce Womble was down in the end zone, and he was really covered. He tried to throw to Paul Lowe. He was being chased primarily by Dan Lampker, number 73. And a Houston tackle way back at the 20-yard line would have helped, but instead it's third down, 3rd and 2 from the 10. Taking a little time in the huddle now. There's a big play coming up. Kemp checks the defense. Give to the halfback low. Slipped away from that man. Hurdles over another. He did not get the first down. It'll be 4th down coming up. Mike Dukes is the one who finally stopped him after he had hurdled over Orville Trask. Well, it looks like Los Angeles is going to be willing, and by the way, Lowe is limping as he goes off the field. He hasn't started to run as yet. It looks like Los Angeles is going to be willing to settle for another 3 points here. They have 2 yards to go for the first down, 10 to go for the touchdown. Have to be on the lookout for almost anything here. The ball will be held by Bob Garner. Agajanian will be trying a field goal from the 17 if he kicks it. Trying his second field goal of the afternoon. There's an offside, and let's see who they call it against. If it's against Houston, that'll cost them plenty. It'll give Los Angeles a first down and a chance to go for the TD. Let's see the ruling. Both sides is the initial indication, but let's wait and see when the ball is finally spotted. Delay a game is what the call is. They took too long. So instead it cost Los Angeles some 5 yards. You think that was intentional, George? You think they want the better angle?
I would doubt that was intentional. You will notice, though, on field goals and extra points, frequently they have a long count at the line of scrimmage, hoping that the defensive team will be drawn offside.
The ball spotted on the 27. Agajanian boots it. And it's good again. 2 for 2 for Ben Agajanian. And the score here at Jefferson Stadium is Los Angeles 6, the Houston Oilers nothing. Football League Championship is being decided here in Houston, Texas. The fans are all on their feet for the kickoff. Agajanian will boot it from the 40. Deep for the Oilers. Once again, number 21, Ken Hall. Closest to you, number 20, Billy Cannon. 6-0, Los Angeles leads. 6:44 left in the quarter. We're going to watch Billy Cannon in action as he takes it on the 9. 20 slips and falls. Wouldn't have gone much further anyhow, it appeared, as he gets past the 20-yard line. Houston had the ball only one time so far in this ball game. Bob Zeman and Rami Loud were there covering on the kickoff return by Billy Cannon. Houston unable to move the ball in the one opportunity they had. Now Blanda and company go back into action. Grom in the left end splits out. Charlie Hennigan is the flanker to the right. Dave Smith, the fullback. Billy Cannon, the halfback. Fake pitch, a give to the fullback, and a gain of a yard or 2. Emil Karras, the middle linebacker there, to get the hurdling Dave Smith. It was surprising to see Dave Smith beat out some of the outstanding fullbacks in the league, and notably some of the professional veterans.
Well, you frequently see that in professional football, where boys come from small colleges or colleges where the football teams are not heard of too frequently and do very well in professional football.
Over the ball is George Bellotti. It's 2nd down and 9. Blanda, screen pass, and it's caught by the fullback Smith. He can run for a big guy, and that's the first down for Houston on the afternoon. Emil Karras bumped him out of bounds. George Blanda really got racked up after throwing the ball, but the screen pass worked for Houston's first good offensive effort this afternoon.
You'll notice we're only halfway through the first quarter, and both teams have already thrown a screen pass. Frequently they will do that, not only trying to gain yardage on the screen pass itself, but to prove to the other team or show them that they have the screen so that they will not be so intent on rushing the passer. They'll always be looking for the screen.
From the 39-yard line, Billy Cannon had trouble holding the ball. Finally did maintain possession and gets a yard. Emil Karras again in there, a Dayton graduate, linebacker, 225 pounds, who plays in the middle. He's number 56, and Maury Schleicher, number 81, also there. There's a close-up look at the Oilers with Blanda and Cannon in the huddle. Cannon gained 2 to the 42. It's 2nd and 8. Hennigan is flanked to the right. Groman split to the left. Long count by Blanda. Going to slow down the offensive charge of the Chargers. A give to Cannon again. Billy's unable to do very much. Cannon was named to the second team All-Star Club for the American Football League. Maurice Schleicher making another tackle. He's number 81. The other end, Ron Neri, number 80, also crashing on the play. Front line is Schleicher, Peters, Finneran, and Neri. Botchin, Karras, and Loud, the linebackers. The deep men are McNeil, Sears, Zeman, and Harris for Los Angeles. Hennigan to the right. Here's a third down play. Blanda's gotten good protection all year. Passes to Groman, and incomplete. Groman was covered by Bob Zeman, who recently was put back on the active roster after overcoming an injury. And speaking of injuries, both clubs have been rather well riddled. Here's a fourth down play coming up. The ball is on the Houston 44, and Charlie Milstead is in there. Sears and Harris go deep for the Chargers, standing on their 20-yard line. As Milstead, 15 yards deep, gets the pass. A pretty good rush, but Los Angeles couldn't get to the ball. Sears calls for a fair catch and makes the catch inside the 20. Jim Sears, who played at USC, saw those Oilers coming down there. They were in good shape defensively that time, George.
They were. That time the Chargers tried to block the punt. They will either call a punt return along one of the sidelines, or occasionally they will tell the defensive lineman to go in and block the punt. Usually when they do that, then there are no blockers back for the receiver of the punt, so he will signal for a fair catch and not attempt to return it.
The ball is on the 18-yard line. This will be the third time Los Angeles has had it. 4:05 remaining in the quarter. Los Angeles leading 6-0. They've been able to get into field goal range both times. Norton to the left, Royce Womble to the right, Ferguson, and Lowe in the backfield. There's Paul Lowe trying to get outside, slipped through two men. But Dennis Morris got him before he could do very much. Dennis Morris, number 50, the middle linebacker who played at Oklahoma. They had an opportunity to get low, and you've seen him elude tacklers a few times here in the early stages of the ball game. He gained a yard at 2nd and 9 from the 19. Both clubs had records of 10-4 during the regular season, and they split their two ball games. Over the middle, and intercepted by Mike Dukes. How about that one? Ramming into tacklers, and down he goes, and a big chance for Houston. Dukes was bobbling that ball after it bounced off him. A Jackie Kemp pass, which was intended for Norton over the middle, and the linebacker, Mike Dukes, was there to cover, clutch at the ball, give you a thrill as he bobbled it. Finally held onto it, and the ball was on the Los Angeles 22. Royce Womble tackled it. Now the Houston crowd comes to life. Hennigan to the right, Groman to the left. Blanda going to throw it right back at him. He throws over the middle to Hennigan, incomplete. Hennigan was covered by Harris in good shape. The pass was well overthrown, and they really had some pressure on George Blanda.
You notice after a team has received a break, an interception or a recovered fumble, they will frequently go for the long play, try to score immediately while their team is psychologically all heft up from the interception or the recovered fumble.
So Blanda tossed it right back at him. His prime receiver is the left end, Bill Groman, number 89. On the other side of the field, Charlie Hennigan, number 87. Both quite formidable at catching that pass. 2nd down. Now watch this fullback. He might throw. No, he's going to run, but not very far. A loss on the play of about 3. Dave Smith carrying, Rami Loud, the linebacker, covering. You always have to remember when they get in this close that Blanda, like Agajanian, can boot that field goal. One other thing to remember with regard to American Football League play is that after a touchdown, you have the option of going for 1 point, or 2, as in college. It's a 3rd down play coming up, 3rd and 14. And he gets good protection, fakes once, throws long to Hennigan. John White was the offensive trailer on the play. The pass was thrown to Hennigan one step too far.
That was a good example of a pass pattern of what we call flooding a zone. They had two receivers out there in the one defender zone, and the passer will go back and see which one the defender has covered and then throw the ball to the other, and just barely overthrew Hennigan on that play.
Now Blanda is trying to go for 3 points from the 32-yard line, trailing 6-0. Los Angeles out in front. Groman holding the ball. Gets the snap. Spots it. Blanda boots it. It's got the distance, and it is off to the right and no good. So Agajanian is 2 for 2 in the field goal department, and Blanda is 0 for 1. And the ball comes out to the 20-yard line, where the Chargers will take over. A good view of Jefferson Stadium here in Houston, Texas. Won't be long before these Oilers are playing in a brand new stadium. Well, Los Angeles, after having a pass intercepted, was able to withstand the offensive thrust of the Oilers. The Chargers have the ball on their own 20. With Kemp running the ball club, Womble to the right, Norton to the left. Running right up the middle. And burrowing under. Dennis Morris covering on the play, along with Al Witcher. And Kemp shows no reluctance to run with that ball. He gained 14 yards up to the 34.
That's a valuable addition to your attack if the quarterback can take off and run with the ball occasionally, because quite frequently in the contest he will get back and find all of his receivers covered, and it frequently can be the difference between losing 10 yards or perhaps gaining 15, as Kemp did on that play, if the quarterback is a good runner.
It shaped up like a quarterback draw, but I'm quite certain that was not the call by Kemp. Now on first down, he's going to throw again to Womble. Whoa! And how did they rule it? Incomplete. Julian Spence picked it up. Thought for a moment it might have been ruled a completed pass and a fumble when Jim Norton really hit him. There's Sid Gilman, the coach of the Rams, and he's happy for that call, incomplete pass, because Julian Spence had picked the ball up and he would have gone into the end zone had it been ruled that Womble held the ball long enough. Womble is just now pulling himself together as he gets back in the huddle. He was really racked by Jim Norton, who played at Idaho. Second down play coming up. First quarter rapidly drawing to a close. 1:18 left in the first period. Los Angeles out in front in this championship game, 6-0. A good close look at Jackie Kemp, who checks the defense, calls the play. 2nd and 10. Throws and incomplete to Norton again. He's really firing to Norton. He was covered out there by Bobby Gordon primarily. Kemp, by the way, is down, as you see. Somebody got to him. And a timeout is called by Los Angeles. And immediately you start thinking in terms of their second-string quarterback as the knee is being worked on. Bob Larraba is their number 2 man in that department, a Texas Western boy. But we're going to have to wait and see if Kemp is able to continue. Some of the action along the sideline, the fellow on the telephone talking with the coach upstairs, one of Lou Rimkus' assistants. There's a third down play coming up. Dennis Morris, the middle linebacker, calling the defensive signals for the Oilers. Royce Womble comes to the right. Jim Norton, the left end, splits out. John Norton. Third down. Fakes once. Kemp looking, throwing long to the sideline. Incomplete. Then once again for Norton. And by the way, don't be fooled by the concentration to the one pass receiver, because Dave Kusurik, number 83, is a fellow whom I'm sure you'll see a good deal of on the end of those Kemp passes before the afternoon is over. But it's fourth down right here. And the fellow about whom we were talking a while ago, their second-string quarterback, Bob Larraba, is into the ball game. Obviously to punt with the ball on the Los Angeles 34 in a 4th and 10 situation. Hall and Cannon, the deep men, standing on their own 25. Larraba gets it away. Fair catch called for by Billy Cannon. And they let the ball roll, and it's going to be covered by the Chargers at about the 16-yard line. Cannon couldn't get to that ball. And it was down by the Chargers. None of the Oilers had touched it. Emo Karasi was down there in a hurry covering on that one. Well, now the Oilers have it. They missed one good opportunity deep into Charger territory. The clock is running, about 50 seconds left in the quarter. Tight T formation. There's a pitch to the halfback. Billy Cannon gets a block, cuts inside, and gets about 7. Fred Wallner, the playing coach of the Oilers, number 64, was out leading the play. Maury Schleicher made the tackle. He got 6 on it, and it's 2nd and 4. There you see the clock still running, 25 seconds left in the quarter. 6-0, Los Angeles leading. Hennigan flanks to the right. Roman splits to the left. The second man through is Cannon carrying the ball. Shy of a first down by about a yard or so. Emo Karas tackling him. Third down play coming up. Cannon has great speed. Runs 100 in less than 10 seconds. And Billy is 6'1", 210. There's the end of the first quarter of play. The end of the first quarter of today's game from Houston, Texas. The score, Los Angeles 6 and the Oilers nothing. From their own 26, they need the first down. Smith, the fullback, booms into the line. And it looks like he may have gotten it. He did. An Oiler first down to keep their offensive effort underway as they trail 6-0. And you can see those all-important linemen getting up from the bottom of the pile. Volney Peters and Dick Chorovich, the middlemen in the defensive line for the Chargers, made the stop, but not until a first down had been gathered. And now let's see what Blanda calls. Hennigan to the right, Roman to the left. Cannon and Smith in the backfield with Blanda. George Blanda over the ball. There's Cannon on a slant. It's about 2 yards. Billy Cannon, the Heisman Trophy winner from last year, ran into Ron Neri and got out to the 30-yard line, and that's all. A gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Speaking of the Heisman Trophy winner and other awards to collegiate ball players, a good many of the outstanding football players have signed with the American Football League already, and we'll give you some of those names after a while. Here's a second down play coming up. A draw play, and boy, was he covered. Smith, the fullback, on a draw. And a quick charge by Dick Chorovich, number 71, really covered him. Did he get tackled before he got the ball, George?
Almost. That must be a funny feeling to be standing there waiting for the ball and have one of those big defensive fellows bearing down on you. Of course, the quarterback can't see that. He hands the ball off. He doesn't know the man is about to be tackled, but it must be a funny feeling to be standing there waiting for it, knowing that you're going to get creamed as soon as you get it.
Chorovich weighs 260. Here's a third down play coming up. 3rd and 9. Cannon looking for some good blocking. Gets it, throws long to Cannon. He held the ball. He held the ball. A mild protest by Los Angeles that it had hit the ground, but the official is right on top of the play. And here's the first down. Billy Cannon out sprinting the defensive secondary. There he is, number 20. I don't know if he has an injury or if he's just out of wind at the moment. Seems to be shaking his arm a bit as he comes off. Fine catch by Billy Cannon. That's what it is. He was a bit shaken up. The ball is on the Los Angeles 32-yard line. 1st and 10 for Houston. They trail 6-0, and here's the fullback, Dave Smith. He cut at the right time and gets a couple of yards. There was no more room to the outside. Then he had to run smack into Rami Loud, the linebacker. A worthwhile gain, however, of 3 yards to the 30. 2nd and 7 coming up. We're in the second period of play. Los Angeles leading 6-0. Ken Hall is in there in the spot vacated by Billy Cannon. Hall blocking at the moment. Blanda throwing to the outside, and it is caught by Carson. John Carson caught the ball, which was beautifully spotted by George Blanda. That's a first down. to the 17-yard line, and you can't place a pass much better than that, George.
It's a perfect throw, and it was a good example of two receivers working together. Bill Groman went straight down the field and cleared out the area. The defender had to go back with him, and that left the area open for John Carson to go over and catch the ball.
Carson was a doubtful performer here today. Another first down play, and here comes Ken Hall trying to get outside, and he is hauled down in a hurry. Charlie McNeil, the cornerback, number 27, up fast to meet the play and grab him by the shoulder and down him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10 coming up. Gary Greaves is in there at a guard position now, replacing playing captain player coach Fred Wallner. Trailing 6-0. Houston has their best offensive effort of the afternoon underway in the bright sunshine here in Houston. The ball on the 16. 2nd and 10. Looking for Groman. Incomplete. That time Ken Hall, the halfback, went down and to the left, and Groman was running from a split left end position, cut over the middle. Billy Cannon back into the ball game. George, the coaches in the league tell me that Cannon is one of the best blocking halfbacks in the league, in addition to his fine running.
He is. The Houston coaches were very pleasantly surprised to find that out, that he is the best blocker amongst the backs on their team.
Cannon from LSU is back in there now. He's blocking for Blanda, but Blanda has to throw in a hurry. He completes it to his fullback, Dave Smith, and Smith drives for a touchdown. There's the all-league fullback showing you why he won those honors. He caught the ball just inside the 10. He ripped away from a couple of men, and he drew another into the end zone with him. Charlie McNeil, the little cornerback, was just literally dragged into the end zone on a tremendous effort by Dave Smith, the fullback, who caught that pass by Blanda, who was really rushed, but still managed to get the ball away. And Houston wants to call a timeout to make sure about this extra point. George Blanda spotted something wrong in the situation. Evidently, they were a man shy. Blanda spotted it and alertly called timeout, because such a situation can cost you a block attempt, and that at the moment would cost Houston the lead, because it's tied 6-6. Don't forget they have the option, but Blanda is very accurate with that toe. They get that 11th man in there now. Groman is holding the ball. Houston trying to go out in front, and they do. The score here at Jefferson Stadium is Houston 7, Los Angeles 6. Olstead and not George Blanda will kick off from the 40-yard line. Deep for Los Angeles, now trailing 7-6. Number 20, Fred Ford. Number 23, Paul Lowe. It's a short kick, however, and it bounces around. It's a loose ball. It's picked up by Lowe, and look at him go. Anything can happen now with him out there. And he's ran out of bounds. Sid Gilman, the official, Sid Gilman and the official are going at it over there. I don't know what it's all about. Emil Karras threw a good block. There's Karras, number 56, having a little difficulty. He got racked over there in the sideline, and that's probably what Gilman is yelling about. Oftentimes you see a kickoff return develop like that, where the timing on it is spoiled as a result of the ball bouncing around, as that one was. Lowe picked it up, and the defensive effort of Houston had broken down. The ball's out to the 45. And Kemp is in there at quarterback. Glad to see that he wasn't injured. 1st and 10 to go. Womble to the right, Norton to the left. Ferguson and Lowe in the backfield. And that's Howie Ferguson carrying for one of the few times. And the big fullback, who had no college experience but plenty in the pro ranks. Ferguson, the 217-pounder, carrying to midfield for a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 coming up. Defensive signals being called by Bennett Morris. 2nd and 5 right here. Same situation as Kemp checks the defense. Blanker left. The quick pitch to the halfback, Lowe. Gets a block, turns the corner, gets the first down, and he's out of bounds. And a little swinging going on over there, but Lowe missed connections, and rather early in the ball game, so they could really start something. Julian Spence, number 24, was the one involved in the swinging. But Jim Norton is the one who made the tackle. Ron Nix was out leading the play. The big tackle really threw a block. He's an all-league tackle, 245-pounder. So Paul Lowe gets the first down to the 38-yard line of Houston. Houston leading 7-6. 10-12 left in the half. Womble to the right, Norton to the left. Back to throw is Kemp, throwing to the sideline, and it's caught by Womble out there to the 30-yard line, very close to a first down. Royce Womble caught the ball. Jim Norton was covering. Players tell me, George, that Womble, at whom we're looking right now, runs some of the best short patterns in professional football.
Well, you can see that they throw to him quite frequently on those short passes. Of course, Jack Kemp is very effective at throwing the short ones. He has a very strong arm and frequently will throw the ball backing away from the line of scrimmage, just all arm motion.
They have 2 yards to go for the first down from the 30-yard line, and Kemp is throwing here. The swing pass to the halfback Lowe, and he gets away from 2 or 3, but not from 4 or 5. Paul Lowe spinning and dancing, doing a cha-cha, rumba, samba, anything to get away from those Oilers. But Mike Dukes finally tackled him, and he needs a little help in getting up. And the Houston fans are a bit bloodthirsty at the moment. Lowe, you remember, threw a punch on the far side of the field. I think he's going to be relieved at the moment by Freddie Ford. He is. Lowe, a fine halfback. He played at Oregon State, and this is his first year of professional ball. The second leading ground gainer in the league is replaced by Freddie Ford, number 20, who played at California Poly, a little guy at 5'8" and 185 pounds, and watch him go if he gets a chance. Kemp was going to go to talk to Sid Gilman, at whom you're looking right now, but the referee told him he better get back because play is in. The clock is running, 9:14 left in the half. Los Angeles trailing 7-6. There's a third down play coming up, 3rd and 4. Lowe lost a yard on that last one. Kemp throwing on 3rd down, and it's intercepted. How far is this one going to go? Kemp has a crack at him, and yet another. Howie Ferguson brings him down. Bobby Gordon intercepted the pass. Gets up and tries to go again, and they're still battling down there. And the play is really wild at the moment, right close to the Houston bench. And now on the far side of the field, some of the Chargers come off the bench, and brother, they're really throwing some punches over there. This is a wild one. Cooler heads prevail at the moment. Let's go down and get in it, George.
I'll stay here and describe it. You go down. This is a bit early for this to be starting. You frequently see a bit of that sort of thing in the fourth quarter toward the end of the ball game, but the boys are getting at it early today.
Here's Sid Gilman coming all the way across the field to talk to the official. The official, John McDonald, runs him away. Freddie Wallner, number 64, is the playing coach. There's Gilman, trying, of course, to protect his players' interests out there. The pass was intercepted by Bobby Gordon, who wouldn't believe that he had been tackled, got up 2 or 3 times, continued to go again, but then skirmishing broke out on the far side of the field as well. Police were on the field. The action occurred here very close to the Houston bench, and the Oilers were out there in a hurry. It all results in a pass interception by Bobby Gordon. There's Gilman again.
He's going to have to put a uniform on. He keeps running out there on the field. Chuck Knoll, the assistant coach, out there helping him now.
I don't know if the officials would be able to pin the blame on any one performer or any one ball club. We'll see where players resumed. Evidently, it's going to be right from that spot, right from the 48-yard line. 1st and 10 to go for the Oilers. There was a penalty against Los Angeles on the previous play, declined by the Oilers, who have the ball on their second interception of the afternoon. 1st and 10 to go. Blanda asked the crowd to quiet down. 8:52 left in the half. 7-6, Houston leading. There's a draw play, and Smith, the fullback who got the touchdown earlier, carries for worthwhile yardage. Gary Finneran brought him down. Be 2nd down coming up. Boy, you can really hear this crowd buzzing. We have plenty to talk about, and we certainly hope you're enjoying the action, not particularly the fights, but it's all part of it here today. There's a give to the second man through Cannon on the belly series, hit right at the line of scrimmage, and this Los Angeles defensive line has proved to be very tough. Ron Botchin, the linebacker on the left side, number 54, the tackler. Play is rough in there on the line of scrimmage. Here's a third down play coming up. It'll be 3rd and 7. We have 8 minutes remaining in the half. Houston has the ball and a 7-6 lead. George Blanda out over the ball. Bill Groman, the left end, splits out. Charlie Hennigan is a flanker right. 3rd down. Blanda throwing. Looking for Hennigan to the outside. Hennigan's covered. He throws to Hennigan, who catches the ball. Hennigan looped right around the defensive man, Jim Sears. And Charlie McNeil finally stopped him. That's a first down and a big 3rd down play.
You notice Hennigan had gone down the field and was covered, and George Blanda couldn't get the ball to him, so Hennigan very smartly turned around and came back toward Blanda. That's a good move for a receiver to make, and Blanda was able to hit him for the first down then.
Fortunately for the Oilers, Blanda was alert enough to pick him up. Charlie Hennigan played at Northwest Louisiana. It's a first down. The pitch to Billy Cannon, trying to cut inside. And only his strength and speed carried him to the 35-yard line. There wasn't much of a hole that time. He seems to glide when he runs, Cannon does. Has a terrific change of pace. On the right side, the linebacker Romney Loud and Dick Harris, number 36, the cornerback, in on the tackle. Clock running, 7:20 left in the half. Houston not wasting much time. They're on the 35 of Los Angeles. Blanda with pretty good protection. Throws out here. Hennigan can't get to it. Hennigan slipped and fell as he tried to come back. Charlie McNeil was covering. McNeil covering Charlie Hennigan. You're looking at him now. He's 6'1", 185 pounds. Northwest Louisiana. A lot of good ball players come from a lot of small colleges. There's annually some 2,000 or 2,500 football players graduate. And, of course, both professional leagues bidding for the services of the better players this year. And quite a battle is underway in the AFL, getting more than their share of the good players. The ball is on the 35. It's a 3rd down play. 3rd and 8. The flare pass to the fullback, Smith. He eludes the one man and gets the first down inside the 25. Dave Smith, who already is a standout in this ball game, gets the first down. Charlie McNeil tackled him. And Blanda is really picking those receivers and calling an outstanding game at quarterback, and now seems to have the Houston offense, which was thwarted early in the game, well underway. And Houston was the number 1 offensive club in the AFL this year. 1st and 10. Blanda looking for Groman, who's deep into the end zone. Out of bounds. Groman was heading for the end zone. Blanda threw the pass shy of the end zone and to the sideline. And Groman, as you saw, made a valiant effort to stay in, but couldn't. Dick Harris, an outstanding defensive back, number 36, was covering Bill Groman.
Perhaps we should explain the rule on that. Even though the receiver may touch the ball while he is still in bounds, it is necessary for him to touch both his feet to the ground in bounds for it to be a completed pass. That is, if only one foot touches in bounds and the other one comes down out of bounds, as it did on that play, then the ball is incomplete.
2nd and 10 from the 25. Trying to fakes once. Now a different pattern run by Groman, but he can't get to it. Groman faked to the outside, came to the inside, trying to get in between those defensive men, Harris and Sears. But Blanda's pass was off the mark this time, and it's a 3rd down play coming up. Clock stops, 6:24 left in the half, and Houston leading 7-6 over Los Angeles for the championship of the American Football League. Yes, it's 3rd down. We, of course, expect a pass here. What pattern will be run? Who is Blanda looking for? How much time will he get? The swing pass to the fullback again. Is it going to work again for a first down? I think he gets the first down. Bob Zeman ran him out of bounds, but once again, Blanda's call pays off in a first down. The fullback, Dave Smith, and you also saw Billy Cannon coming back. Cannon down there trying to help out with a block. Those swing passes are shaking up the Los Angeles defense at the moment.
Blanda is very good at picking out those short men. He will throw the deep ones to Carson and to Hennigan, and after he is a
Chargers will kick off, and there's Agajanian, number 3. The deep men for Houston inside the 5 are Billy Cannon, closest to you, and Ken Hall, number 21. Houston fans are on their feet. They have the lead, 10-9. They're going to get the football right here. The Agajanian kick goes to Cannon on the 4. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Billy Cannon. Oh, he blew right through one man, I tell you. He ran right through one man. Bob Larraba, number 17, whom we have seen do just this thing so often, was down there to finally make the tackle on him. Larraba is a quarterback who likes to get his nose dirty defensively. Cannon really blew through him, as you saw. A thrilling start to the second half of this AFL Championship game. From their own 45, 1st and 10. Groman to the left, Hennigan to the right. A give to the fullback Smith. And he gets more than 5 across midfield. Dave Smith, who has the only touchdown of this ball game to his credit. Tackled by Ron Botchin, number 54, the left linebacker for the Chargers. He gained 7. Smith did. 2nd and 3. And now the fullback again, trying for the first down. Came very close to getting it. Dave Smith carrying the ball. We'll see where they spot it. Referee wants a timeout to make sure. And I guess they can judge by the yard markers on the field. It's a first down for Houston. Dick Chorovich, the last tackler. John McDonald is the referee this afternoon. The headlinesman is Elvin Hutchinson. The umpire, George Young. Field judge, Sonny Gamber. And the back judge, Fritz Graff. And that kept this ball game moving right along. They had a fight to contend with earlier in the ball game. 1st and 10 from the Charger 45 for the Oilers, who lead 10-9. A fake pitch to give to the fullback Smith, who carries for the 3rd straight time. Not much doing this time. On top of the pile is number 80, Ron Neary. Balney Peters in the middle of the pile. And on the bottom of things, Dick Chorovich, number 71. Those 3 were stacked up. 226 pounds, 238, and 260. A gain of only 1 and 2nd and 9 from the 44 of Los Angeles. Bill White is the tight end. Blanda throwing out here to Hennigan. Can't get it. Hennigan faked his man, the defensive cornerback, Charlie McNeil. Drew him inside, then went outside. Blanda floated that pass to try to give Hennigan a chance to catch up to it, but Charlie was a couple of steps shy. Also in the same direction was John White coming from a left end position.
Actually, he had to throw the ball before Hennigan had made his break. I believe Blanda wanted to roll out to the right, but found his path blocked, so he had to get rid of the ball a bit more quickly than he had anticipated, and Hennigan hadn't quite made his break yet.
McNeil has the difficult task of covering Hennigan. Here on 3rd down and 9, Blanda throws to Groman. That's a first down at the 25. Bob Zeman tackled him, but Blanda really laid that one right in the midsection of Groman. And not much of a chance for the defensive end to do anything on that one. Bill Groman, the leading pass receiver, yardage-wise in the American Football League, hauled that one in. The ball is just shy of the 25. We'll call it the 25-yard line of Los Angeles. We're in the 3rd period. And here we come this way with Billy Cannon carrying the ball. He gets a couple of yards. George, they lined up in a strongly unbalanced line to the right, trying to get that additional blocking for Cannon, but once again, Billy's had difficulty cutting back in.
Well, they will do that occasionally with the Houston offense. They have Cannon and Smith, who are more power backs than scat backs, and they run something that is very similar to a single wing offense. A lot of power plays, and every once in a while they will line up with an unbalanced line to get a little more blocking toward the one side.
The field is just a bit treacherous down there with regard to the footing, and Billy Cannon seems to have had more trouble than most anybody else. Here's George Blanda. Back to throw, throwing out here to Groman. Groman gets it. Stayed in bounds at the 10-yard line. Bill Groman caught the ball. Dick Harris tackled him. And once again, he lost his footing. George, you think he could have gone any further if he hadn't slipped and fell?
I doubt it. He was headed over there toward the sidelines, and I think the defender would have bounced him on out of bounds. George Blanda certainly throwing the ball well here in the second half. 2 perfect throws.
Slipped and fell or slipped and fallen? First down. First and goal to go. Roman to the left. Hennigan to the right. Give to the halfback Billy Cannon. On the quick hitter. A couple of yards. Clock running. We have 12:05 remaining in the third period. And there's Mr. Cannon. Gary Finneran and Dick Chorovich, the defensive stalwarts for Los Angeles that time. The ball's on the 7, second and goal to go. Out over the ball is George Bellotti, the 250-pound center. Blanda pitches to his fullback, Smith. Tries to cut back. Jim Sears brought him down after he was initially stopped by the linebacker, Ron Botchin, number 54. So it'll be a third down play coming up. Despite the tremendous progress made by the American Football League this year, their first year, there are going to be a lot of new names and a lot of new faces in action next year. E.J. Holub, to name one, who will be with the Dallas Texans. Holub, one of the most sought-after linemen in college football this past year. Here's Blanda, trying to throw for the TD to Groman. Groman for the touchdown. On third down, Blanda hit him. And out in front, 16-9. Go the Oilers, the favorites in this ball game. He cut away from Bob Zeman and caught the pass in front of Charlie McNeil, who was over there trying to help out. Blanda's second touchdown pass of the afternoon. Groman, who caught it, will be holding for Blanda. Spots it. George kicks it into the seat. And the score here at Jefferson Stadium is the Houston Oilers 17, Los Angeles 9. Off. Now let's see what the receivers Freddie Ford or Paul Lowe will do with this one for the Chargers, who trail 17-9. The kick is headed toward Ford. Lowe cuts in front of him and takes it on the 11. Quickly out to the 20, the 25, the 30. Across the 35, showing the excellent speed that he possesses. Paul Lowe carrying the ball, and Doug Klein, second-string fullback for the Oilers, number 31, made the tackle. And so the Chargers get out there in pretty good operating shape. Well, they want the lights on, and it didn't take very long for the officials' request to be complied with. 11:54 remaining in the third period. 17-9, Houston out in front, and the lights have been turned on. It was rather dull at the start of the day, then brilliant sunshine, and now it's starting to get darker to the point where we need the lights. Norton to the left, Royce Womble to the right. Ferguson and Lowe in the backfield. There's the quick pitch to the fullback. Ferguson fumbled, but got it back. Have we had any fumbles in this ball game so far, George?
I don't believe we have. I don't believe the ball has been lost by fumbles. No, neither team fumbled in the first half.
Ferguson, however, lost a couple of yards. Al Jamison was there covering on the play. Jamison normally plays offense, but he's in there defensively now for the Oilers. He has the size, 240 pounds. It's second down right here. 2nd and 12. Jackie Kemp, the quarterback, from a tight tee, pitches out to his halfback, Paul Lowe. The big guard out leading the way. He throws the block for him, and Lowe gets away from a couple of men. He's still going. And he's finally tackled, and they really needed that one. Jim Norton brought him down for the Oilers, and it appeared that had that tackle been missed, Lowe might have gone all the way. There was an Oiler close to him. That was one of the big linemen, however, Low speed might have carried him right away from Dalva Allen. After Jim Norton made that sure-handed tackle on Paul Lowe, who had seemed to have been stopped a couple of times prior to that. The ball's on the 46, 1st and 10. They ran that last play from a tight tee, and it paid off. Now they're using the flanker and the split end again. Kemp giving to the second man through. Lowe going outside. Norton has to get him again, and he does. Norton and Lowe crashing together on the far side of the field. That's going to be very close to a first down. Dave Kosurik, the end, was out there throwing a block, showing you that it's not all pass catching. There's Lou Rimkus. He's perturbed by the drive the Chargers are putting on right here. Lou Rimkus, the coach of the Oilers and the coach of the year, according to the UPI. The measurement across the way, and it's shy, and it's going to be second down, less than a foot to go.
On that last play, we had another good example of Lowe's ability to bounce out around the end when the off-tackle hole is clogged up. I believe that was an off-tackle play that was called. He went over there and found no hole, so he bounced out around the end. He does that very, very effectively.
And Dave Kosurik had taken one of the deep men for the Oilers completely out of the play. Jim Norton from Idaho has had to come up with some good tackling here in the last couple of plays. And Lowe didn't hesitate to lower that shoulder and collide with him on the last play, did he? Second down, quarterback sneak, and Kemp gets more than enough. I'm going to try that one again. Jackie Kemp trying for the first down, gets it as he gets inside the 35. They spot the ball down on the 30, let's call it the 32-yard line of the Oilers. Clock is running. 11:28 remaining. Who's she for? Happy New Year to you. 11:28 remaining in the third period of play. 17-9, Houston out in front, but the Chargers have their best sustained drive of the afternoon underway at the moment. First down from the 32. Quick pass, incomplete to Norton. And Kemp is going to take a little while getting up. Mike Dukes, the linebacker, was blitzing in there, and he really hit him. Al Witcher, the linebacker from the other side, came in. Seems like quite a gamble, George, with a passer like Kemp, number one in the league. He's been throwing in this drive. You figure him to throw the ball and blitz those linebackers, you're really taking a chance.
Well, of course, they want to get to him before he can get rid of the ball, to hurry his throw so that he can't throw it accurately.
Womble to the right, Norton to the left. Second and 10 from the 32. There's a give to the halfback, Paul Lowe. And he gains only a couple. It'll be third down coming up. Dan Lamphere, an All-American from Wisconsin last year, made the tackle on it. It'll be 3rd and 7 from the 30-yard line. These Los Angeles Chargers have signed such outstanding collegiate stars of this season, like as Earl Faison, an end from Indiana, Calvin Bird, played in the All-America Bowl. He's from Kentucky. Keith Lincoln at Washington State, Shrine Game standout yesterday. 8 of the top 12 draft choices by Los Angeles have already been signed for American Football League play next year. Kemp sets the ball club on third down, and there's the whistle. Delay a game. 5 yards, and it'll still be third down, and it'll be about 12. The Dallas Texans have signed E.J. Holub from Texas Tech, a center and linebacker. Jim Tyrer from Ohio State, a tackle. Fred R. Bennett, Michigan State end. Most of these boys I'm mentioning have been mentioned for All-American honor. Houston Oilers have signed Tom Good from Mississippi State, Walt Suggs from the same school, Ike Grimsley from Michigan State, a halfback. 3rd and 13, the situation for Jackie Kemp, who's back to throw. Fakes once, boy, he just got away from that one. Look out, Jackie Kemp, he gets away from another. He gets a block, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he throws the ball to Kosurik, and it's complete. Inside the 5-yard line, and how about that one for a play? I don't see any flags down, and evidently the play is going to stand. They're inside the 5-yard line, and a brilliant effort by Jackie Kemp, who got away from 1, 2, 3 men, jumped high in the air and threw to Dave Kasurik. And it'll be first and goal to go for the Chargers, and that really hurt the Oilers.
Very effective play by Kemp. He not only gives himself more time by getting away from those tacklers, but when he does get clear of them, why then the defensive secondary must come up to make the tackle in case he starts to run with the ball, and that leaves the receivers open downfield.
Dalva Allen just missed him back at midfield. So it's first and goal to go from the 2-yard line for the Chargers, who trail 17-9. Lowe and Ferguson in the backfield. And there is the halfback Paul Lowe going in there untouched. A good fake by Howie Ferguson on the play, by the way. And it didn't take him very long to open the hole and blow on into the Houston end zone for the first time this afternoon, which, on top of 3 Ben Agajanian field goals, makes it 17-15. Agajanian in there to try the extra point. Don't forget they have the option. And, George, in reality, if they tried for the 2 points and didn't get it right here, it wouldn't matter too much.
No, I should think they would go for the 2 because they're down by 2, and it's not going to help much to get this 1, or at least it wouldn't appear that way.
Bob Garner will be holding the ball. Of course, we're rather early in the ball game. Let's see what the Chargers are thinking. They're going to go for the 1, and Agajanian boots it through there. And the score here at Jefferson Stadium is now the Oilers 17, the Chargers 16. Billy Cannon and Ken Hall are the deep men. A rather short kick. And the ball is being returned by Ken Hall, who gets away from a couple of men and is finally wrestled out of bounds by Bob Zeman. Bob Zeman got Ken Hall out of bounds, and the Oilers will take over there. The clock that we must refer to is out at the moment. We'll take a guess and figure we're about halfway through this third period of play, some 8 minutes remaining. Here comes Blanda trying to protect a 1-point lead, running his ball club. Giving to his halfback Cannon, who throws a pass. Incomplete, intended for Hennigan. Well, we've seen the fullback, Dave Smith, throw. We've seen Billy Cannon throw, and, of course, George Blanda. Jim Sears was covering on the play. Hennigan had gotten behind him, however.
Cannon had his man out there, wasn't able to hit him. However, the play still could have achieved its purpose. They will frequently do that so that the defenders will not be able to come up too fast when Cannon starts an end run or when Smith starts an end run going the other way. They always have to watch for the pass now.
Hennigan's to the right. Dave Smith, the fullback, carrying, blowing through a couple of them, getting a first down out to the 45-yard line. Bob Zeman finally tackled him. Dave Smith, the all-league fullback. First down. The ball is on the 46-yard line. First and 10 to go. 17-16. Houston out in front. Billy Cannon on the quick hitter, straight ahead. For more than a couple. You think these ball clubs aren't evenly matched? Listen to the scores of the 3 games they played. The preseason game, Los Angeles won it 22-13. Houston then won in the regular season 38-28. Then Los Angeles won 24-21. Total points in the 3 games, Los Angeles 74 and Houston 72. And that's the way it is today, 17-16. 2nd and 5 the situation. Cannon again trying to find a spot. Billy Cannon carrying, Ron Botchin, the linebacker, making the stop on him. As Blanda stays on the ground for the past few plays. Gary Finneran from USC. Defensive tackle made that last stop. The ball's on the 46-yard line of the Chargers. It's 3rd down and 2. Blanda throwing on 3rd and 2, and Groman. Incomplete. Groman was battling for the ball along with Dick Harris. And the big linebacker, Emo Karras, number 56. Karras and Harris. And so it's a 4th down play. And Charlie Milstead goes into the game. Blanda comes out, which means no field goal, and Milstead will punt the ball. 4th and 2. They went for the long yardage on the passing play. The deep men are Harris and Sears as Milstead prepares to boot the ball from his own 40. Boy, he almost took too much time trying to prevent a long run back, and the ball bounces inside the 15, finally down by Houston. Well, Charlie Milstead took a little chance back there, and I bet the heart of Lou Rimkus was in his mouth. Lou has a big grin on his face, which we can see all the way from up here. I wonder if Milstead was thinking of running for a moment.
Well, frequently these boys get back there in punt formation and see that the defensive team is not rushing the kicker. Instead, they have put on a punt return. When they do that, the defensive linemen just take one step forward and then go back to block for the man catching the punt. So occasionally you'll find a punter who is back there some 15 yards and with nobody rushing him, who can take off and run for the first down.
From their own 15, the Chargers go into action. Kemp back to throw. Throws out here to his flanker, Womble, and he gets about 5 yards on the play. Jim Norton ran him out of bounds. The defensive cornerback, Jim Norton in this case, certainly has quite a problem. That's Womble going back into the huddle. Whether to go for that ball, try to time his tackle the same moment the ball arrives, or wait and make sure of the tackle. Norton to the left, Womble to the right. 2nd and 5 from the 20 for the Chargers, who trail by a point. The pass to Norton, and he gets a first down. Racked up on this side of the field by Mark Johnston. There's a whistle, and a penalty is being indicated against Houston, evidently defensive holding. We have 4.5 minutes remaining. 4.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd period of play. Holding against Houston, declined by Los Angeles. The pass completion stands, giving the Chargers a first down from their own 28-yard line. 4.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd period of play. Each club has scored here in the 2nd half. The score at halftime was 10-9. At one point, the Chargers led 6-0, but since then, it's been Houston out in front. By now, only by 1 point. Lowe and Ferguson in the backfield along with Kemp. Womble to the right. Norton is in tight along with Kasurik the other end. The pitch to Lowe, trying to get outside. Does get outside to the 40-yard line. Paul Lowe with those flashing legs and great speed. Jim Norton making another tackle, and slow in getting up is Mike Dukes, the linebacker, being helped by Lowe, the ball carrier on the last play. Lowe trying to get back in the favor of this crowd, which was on him a bit earlier in the ball game. Ron Mix, an all-league selection, tackle for the Chargers, number 74, threw a dandy block on that play. Watch him if you get an opportunity. Playing the right tackle spot. Kemp throws the quickie to Womble. And another pass completion. And Norton with another tackle. As we pointed out earlier, Royce Womble, quite a veteran in the pro football wars, is very effective at the short pass patterns. This is his 5th year of professional football, played at North Texas State. 6'1", 185 pounds. And Kemp has been very effective here in the 2nd half with his passes, particularly that long one, which set up their only touchdown of the game. This is a 2nd and 4 situation. Second man through, Paul Lowe. Gained only about a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 3 coming up. Orville Trask was the man on the spot. There's Paul Lowe. Lowe played at Oregon State. He's a 180-pounder. 3rd down. Make it about 2 yards instead of 3, right from midfield. An 8-man line for the Oilers, and Kemp is going to throw. Look out, Jackie Kemp, you're in trouble. And out of bounds back there. He still tries to throw the ball. It's intercepted, but he was out of bounds, way back upfield. Out of bounds, way back upfield. Orville Trask finally bumped him out of bounds. And if Kemp is collecting mileage for this ball game, he'll be a rich man. There's Sid Gilman, the coach of the Chargers. Orville Trask finally got to him. Was being pursued earlier, but got away from Don Floyd. It's 4th down coming up. And into the ball game is Bob Larraba to do the kicking. Houston has too many men on the field, and 2 of them rush off, and they get off in time. The pass from center to Larraba. He gets the kick away. Ken Hall calls for a fair catch and takes it inside the 35. He didn't have much time to get that hand up there to indicate a fair catch. Emil Karras was down covering. There's a 225-pounder, number 56, right near the ball now, who showed great speed in getting down under that ball. Well, the Oilers have it, and they have the lead 17-16. Something like 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd period of play. George Blanda sets the ball club. He's played the entire game at quarterback. Stays in the pocket and throws long for White. And White loses sight of the ball. Jim Sears was covering John White, who played at Texas Southern. John Carson, the regular end for the Oilers, has been in the ball game, caught a couple of passes, but he's slowed down with a knee injury. 2nd and 10 from their own 35, we'll call it. 17-16, Houston leading in this championship game for the American Football League title. Looking for Hennigan to the outside. Overthrown. It'll be 3rd and 10. Charlie McNeil was right on his heels. Charlie Hennigan, the intended pass receiver. I've seen George Blanda have better days, George. Of course, the defensive secondary, led by Jim Sears, the veteran, has been doing a pretty fair job for the Chargers.
They're covering his receivers very well. Actually, some of his best passes have been thrown to Cannon and to Smith, who do not catch the ball too often, but they're covering his primary target so well that he has to resort to the other ones for the short completions.
3rd and 10 from the 35. The quickie out here to Groman. Incomplete. And once again, there was a pretty good rush, and Blanda is flat on his back there. Ron Neary got in and really dumped him. Dick Harris was covering defensively. 4th down, Houston's going to have to kick, and Blanda is not much better off than he was at the start of that last series. 1.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd period of play. Charlie Milstead is in there to kick with Harris and Sears, the deep men. And the boot heads for Jimmy Sears. He's pretty tough. Watch him. And he can't get loose. He's out to the 40, and Don Floyd brought him down. So the Chargers, trailing by a point, have the ball again. Coming off the field is Klein, a fullback, who was in there to block on the punt formation plays. Houston, the number 1 club in offense this year. Los Angeles, the number 3 club in that department. Jackie Kemp, very colorful quarterback, running the ball club from the 40. Gives to Lowe. Watch this one. Lowe trying to get further outside. Gets about 5 yards. He's stopped by Mark Johnston, who made the tackle. You could see Lowe eyeing a spot to the inside if he could have faked that defensive back, Johnston, but there was no place to go. And Al Witcher was there to help out. Don Rogers, the center, threw a good block to help spring that play. Ball's on the 45, a gain by Paul Lowe of 5 yards on it. 2nd and 5. Rapidly drawing to the close of the 3rd period of play. Kemp checks the defense. Pitches out to Lowe, going the other way. Has to cut back in, but makes it pay off and gets the 1st down. Al Witcher, the linebacker, making the tackle. The Chargers racked up more ground yardage in the first half than the Oilers did, and their ground game throughout the entire contest has been going much better.
But to be exact, the Los Angeles Chargers had 76 yards on the ground in the first half, and Houston only had 29, which is surprising. However, Houston did have 118 passing to Los Angeles 65.
From the 47, it's 1st and 10 to go. Norton to the left, Womble to the right. On first down, the fullback, Howie Ferguson, drives for a couple. And there's the gun. The end of the third period of play. The end of the third quarter of today's game from Houston, Texas. The score is the Oilers 17, the Chargers 16. Only 15 more minutes remain in this American Football League Championship game. Jack Buck and George Ratterman on hand, and the clock is being put back in order. There's the score, 17-16, Houston leading Los Angeles. Want to mention Les Kiter, too, who's been on our telecast here and is down in the field. Try to have a chance for Les to be on after the game with some additional color in the championship game. Right now, it's 2nd down and 8 yards to go for the Chargers. With the ball on the Houston 45. The Chargers trailing by a point. Jack Kemp, the quarterback, brings them out. Sends Womble to the right, Norton to the left. Kasurik, the other end, is in tight. Kemp rolling to his left and looking. Throwing out here, and it is intercepted by Mark Johnston. And let me see how they call it. Out of bounds with the ball. Incomplete. Mark Johnston came very close, number 41, who played at Northwestern. Timed his dash in front of the receiver perfectly, but couldn't complete the play.
He timed that very well. You notice he was behind the receiver, so the receiver didn't know where he was, and he waited till just before the ball got there before stepping in front of the receiver and almost was able to pick it off.
The ball remains on the 45. It's 3rd and 8. Here's a big play coming up. Big play coming up. 3rd and 8. Watch it. Norton left, Womble right. Kasurik is to the left, but in sight. A fake to the halfback Lowe, a good fake, and Lowe throws long. Incomplete. Mark Johnston making the tackle, but at the precise time the ball passed over the hands of the would-be receiver, Don Norton.
That was exactly the same play they had called on the previous play. Undoubtedly, the receiver came back and suggested that they call it again and said perhaps he would do something just a little differently down there and felt he could get clear, but Johnson once again covered it very well.
So they're too far away for a field goal attempt, and Bob Larraba comes into the ball game ostensibly to boot the ball. Billy Cannon is deep along with Ken Hall standing inside the 10-yard line. Houston will be trying to get to that kicker. Not much of a rush. Laraba's kick bounces outside the 10, and it's down by the Chargers. So the Oilers, leading by a point, will put the ball in play from there, and their offensive unit goes in. Sam DeLuca was the one who downed the ball for the Chargers. The clock is still out. However, we'll get the time remaining from the field for you as often as possible. This fourth period just started, about 14 minutes remaining in the ball game. For the title in the American Football League, Roman is to the left, Hennigan is to the right, Blanda running the ball club. Look out, George! He throws long to Groman. Groman had turned the wrong way. We've been covered by Dick Harris, and Blanda is really getting knocked around back there. The outside linebacker blitzed, Ron Botchin. He was right on top of George. And from the blind side, as George Ratterman has pointed out, and that's when you really get jostled about.
They'll hit those passers back there every chance they get if they're right on them just as they're about to throw the ball, even though they can't hit them before they throw the ball. If they're right there, why, they'll try to give them a little punishment and lower their effectiveness on later plays.
It's a rather daring call by Blanda on the last play. In his own 10-yard line, it's 2nd and 10 now. And he pitches to his fullback, Smith. Not much room. Smith gained only about a yard. And the action continues down there as Ron Neri got into it for just a moment. Emo Karras was the primary tackler. You saw that the lights are on here at Jefferson Stadium and a view of the crowd, which is more than 32,000 for this championship game. Third down. 3rd and 9 for Blanda and company. Roman, Jameson, Wharton, Bellotti, Greaves, Simerson, and White along the front line offensively for the Oilers. Roman is to the left. Blanda throws. And it is caught out here by Billy Cannon. Cannon and Harris are having a race for the goal line. And they can't get to him for a touchdown. An 88-yard touchdown. Billy Cannon caught the ball. Looked back over his shoulder. Charlie McNeil had a bit of a crack at him. McNeil knew he wasn't closing any ground on the flash from LSU. Made a desperate lunge, couldn't get him, and Billy Cannon has brought this crowd roaring to its feet. An 88-yard pass completion. Cannon comes off the field as his ball club zooms out in front, 23-16. That was a 3rd down play. Billy Cannon outraced Charlie McNeil, caught the ball. An outstanding catch, by the way, and showed you some speed for a 200-pounder. Blanda's extra point is good. And the score here at Jefferson Stadium is the Houston Oilers 24, Los Angeles Chargers 16. A bolt from the blue on that last one. Blanda to Cannon for an 88-yard touchdown. And Charlie Milstead will kick the ball. Los Angeles trailing now has Fred Ford and Paul Lowe deep. Ford 20, Lowe 23. 24-16, an 8-point lead for the Oilers. With about 11 and a half minutes remaining in this football game. Milstead boots the ball. And it goes out of bounds. Goes out of bounds, and that'll cost 5 yards. George, what an exciting play, and when you consider that it was 3rd down, the Chargers knew he was going to throw. And I want to give you further credit, as you pointed out, that the big tosses have been to Smith as fullback and Cannon as halfback rather than his primary pass receiver.
Well, undoubtedly in scouting Houston, Los Angeles has seen that Cannon and Smith were not the primary receivers in the earlier ball games, and so they have been covering the other receivers very, very closely, but that leaves Cannon and Smith free occasionally, and George Blanda really laid that one out there just perfectly for Billy Cannon.
And now Blanda will kick off instead of Milstead. It's still Ford and Lowe deep. Blanda boots it. Paul Lowe takes it. Does he want to run it back? Yep, they need those points. To the 10, 15, 20, 25. Look out for Paul Lowe, 30. Not to the 35, however. Paul Lowe carrying the ball came very close to stepping on a camera or two. Mark Johnston ran him out of bounds, and Johnston has played an outstanding defensive ball game. He's had the difficult task of covering Don Norton, the split end, who now comes into the lineup, of course. And he's made a flock of tackles here this afternoon. 24-16, Houston leading, battling for the title. The Chargers down by 8, have the ball on their own 34, 1st and 10 to go. Jackie Kemp is their quarterback. He's played throughout. Howie Ferguson is his fullback. Paul Lowe, the halfback. Norton, the left end, splits out, and the flanker to the right is Royce Womble. Don Rogers over the ball, the center. Kemp checks the defense. An 8-man line for Houston. Now it's a 9-man line. And a give to Paul Lowe. And the 9-man line pays off, and Lowe gets only a yard. Dan Lamphere up on the front line, the defensive end making the tackle, and Hugh Pitts, who's in there at the linebacker spot, helped him out. Lamphere's number 73. They give Lowe 2 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 8. There's Billy Cannon getting some oxygen following his sprint down the sideline with that pass for the touchdown. 2nd down and 8. 7-man line at the moment. 6-man line as they move around. Pitch to Lowe, trying to go wide, cuts back in nicely, gets across the 40, Get very close to a first down. Paul Lowe picking his spots. And one Oiler is down. Chuck Kendall made the tackle. George Shirkey is the one who is injured. And Shirkey is a replacement on that forward defensive wall for the Oilers. Lowe got the first down on that last effort. The ball is on the 44-yard line. 24-16, Houston leading. And George Shirkey is still down. Dalva Allen goes back into the ball game. Don Floyd will also be in the front line, along with Trask and Lamphere. Now Shirkey, a 240-pounder, attempting to get to his feet. The score here at Jefferson Stadium is Houston 24, Los Angeles 16. On 45-yard line. Jackie Kemp from Occidental running the ball club. Back to throw. Good protection. Throws long. Way down here for Norton. Nothing doing. Mark Johnston was with him step for step. Saw a couple of speedsters out there that time. And Kemp really fired that ball a long, long way, George Ratterman.
Well, he threw it from his 35, and I believe it came down on the 10, so that's some 55 yards, and also he threw it diagonally across the field. So overall, I would imagine the ball covered 60, 65 yards, something like that, which is a long, long way to throw a football.
And we've seen Kemp do that before. Dennis Morris, the linebacker, middle linebacker, was trying to blitz that last time, and he got chopped down. Perhaps you saw the good line play prior to that pass. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 45. Freddie Ford, the halfback, coming back this way, and he's stopped. Fred Ford, tackled by George Shirkey, who was injured earlier but remained in the ball game. Number 74, a little slow in getting up again. Fred Ford, I don't know if that was a designed play. I think the flow of blocking was this way, and so it was more a fake than anything else on the part of the 185-pound halfback, a little guy at 5'8". But the Houston defense wasn't fooled.
It's hard to fake these defensive linemen on a good professional team. They tend to follow the blockers rather than the ball back there. That is, if they see all the blockers pull out one way, they know that the play eventually has to go that way, so they will flow over there.
Now Kemp has to hit on this one. 3rd down. 3rd and 16 is the situation. A long way to go. Womble got knocked down on the line of scrimmage, and Ford can't get it. And a flag is down, and interference is going to be called. Interference is called. Mike Dukes was covering the little guy, Fred Ford, the halfback, who was blowing down the middle and appeared to have him whipped. Good call by the official. I was going to... In fact, I was having trouble to keep from saying that Ford had been held up, but it was obvious from here, George.
Well, the official was a little slow getting up there, but the official also was knocked down as he tried to come up and throw down the flag. One of the Oilers knocked him down, so there was double interference on the play.
They had knocked Womble down on the line of scrimmage, but the pass was intended for Ford. Pass interference carries with it an automatic first down. 1st and 10 in Houston territory. Here's the halfback Ford. He really racked up. Whew. He was doubled over. Dalva Allen is the one that pulled him over backwards after he'd been stopped by Hugh Pitts, the linebacker. So it'll be 2nd down and 8 yards to go from the 40. Paul Lowe is back in, and Freddie Ford is out at the halfback spot. Lowe is in the backfield along with Ferguson. Front line of Norton, Ernie Wright, Orlando Ferranti, Don Rogers, the center, Fred Cole, Ron Mix, and Dave Kasurik. The front line for Los Angeles on the 2nd and 8 play. Jackie Kemp back to throw. Throws long to Norton. Mark Johnston covering again. Helped out a bit by Jim Norton. Kemp throwing long, and the other Norton, Don Norton, showing you a lot of speed. Didn't take him very long to go across those 5-yard markers.
Kemp just barely overthrew his receiver on that play. However, that could be caused by the sogginess of the turf down there. That is, he is used to throwing to receivers when they are running on good turf and can utilize their full speed, and they are slowed down just a little bit on a soggy field such as this, so that could have caused the overthrow.
11 minutes remaining in this championship game. Houston leading by 8 points, 24-16. This is a third down play, 3rd and 8. The quickie to the fullback over the middle, Howie Ferguson. He rams into a couple. They still don't have the first down. They're going to be shy by about 3 yards. George Shirkey and Mike Dukes were there to make the tackle. Shirkey's number 674 getting up. Dukes is number 30, standing with the official, checking the yardage. It's 4th down. 4th down and about 3, and here's a very important call. Jackie Kemp went to the sideline to talk to Sid Gilman. 11 minutes remaining in the football game, and they're going to go for it. 4th and 3. All the fans get on their feet, making a racket. The official asks them to quiet down. Kemp back to throw on 4th down. He throws to Womble. It's complete, and let's see where they mark it. He might not have the first down. This is going to be very, very close. They're going to measure, and this will be a big play in the ball game. If they get the first down, the Chargers can continue what they hope will be a touchdown drive. If not, they have to give it over to the Oilers, who already lead by 8 points. No chance for you to see it, what with all the people around the sideline. I would guess that they didn't make it. They did not. Houston takes over.
I believe on that play, Womble had been downfield far enough to get the first down, but he came back toward the passer just a little bit when he caught the ball, and that was just enough to lose the first down. Not his fault, not a bad play, because he didn't know exactly where the yard marker was, and that's a good maneuver to come back toward the passer when you're catching a short pass such as that, but it did cause him to lose the first down on that play.
Well, the Oilers have the ball in an 8-point lead. They have it on their own 33. 1st and 10 to go. George Blanda giving to the fullback, Dave Smith, out across the 35. Jim Sears up fast from the secondary. Ron Neri on the front line making the initial stop. And Emo Karras on the bottom of the pile. Karras has played an outstanding ball game as we viewed it from here. Karras, who played at Dayton, a 225-pounder used in the middle linebacker spot. The ball is marked on the 37. So Smith gained 4. It's 2nd and 6. 10.5 minutes remaining in the game. Here's Ken Hall running. And just gets out to the 40. Ken Hall gaining a couple of yards out of that halfback spot. Ron Botchin, the linebacker, number 54, is having difficulty with his wrist as he goes back into the huddle. The ball's on the 40. It's 3rd down and 3. 10.5 minutes, clock running. Something like 10 minutes remaining in this game. Blanda has made the call. And here's a draw play with the fullback Smith getting the first down. Dave Smith on a draw play and a good call in such a situation as this. Carries the ball out to the 49-yard line of Houston. Emo Karras and Jim Sears tackling him. And into the ball game for Los Angeles at the moment comes Charlie Breckman, number 53, who had been injured earlier. Middle linebacker. It's a first down play. Blanda to Ken Hall, a halfback. On a slant play, he was tripped up and dropped. He gained a yard. Sears covered him after he was initially tripped up by Dick Chorovich. 2nd down and 9 from midfield for the Oilers. There's Lou Rimkus and Billy Cannon. Cannon has provided the most thrilling play of the afternoon with a pass reception, which resulted in a TD that covered 88 yards. We're in the 4th and final period now. 8:45 remaining in the football game. Blanda with a big pitch and a give to the fullback Smith. And a flag is down. Gary Finneran made the tackle. They're talking to Jim Sears, the defensive captain of the Chargers, number 26. And they're going to mark off some real estate against the Oilers. "15 yards for holding." "Where you going?" say the fans. Not 20. You think the fans don't pay attention?
They weren't going to let him get away with that one, were they?
Holding is what it is. Cannon is in and Hall is out. The halfback spot. It's second down and 23. Blanda fakes to Cannon. A good fake, a screen pass. Caught by Smith, but a further loss result. Well, what a tangle of players we had there. They were all knotted up. Dick Chorovich broke up that screen pass. Here's Dave Smith, number 32. It's third down, and now it's 25. The American Football League climaxing a year of hard work with a thrilling championship game here this afternoon. Third down, Blanda goes back. He needs a lot of time. He gets it, and he throws long for Hennigan. It's complete. Charlie Hennigan caught the ball inside the 30-yard line as he got behind Sears. Sears doesn't let that happen very often. And what an effort by George Blanda. And fine protection that allowed him to get the ball away for such distances. By the way, along the lines of development in the American Football League, soon the New York team, Houston and Oakland, will be playing in brand new stadiums, a further indication of the progress made by the AFL. First and 10 to go. Blanda going for the distance, throws to Groen. Can't get it.
Jack, you mentioned the new stadium, or the new stadiums in these various cities. I have some statistics here on the stadium which they are about to start here in Houston. I believe on February 1st they will start building this new $15 million stadium that will be the world's first air-conditioned dome sports stadium. We'll have a dome over the top that will stay in permanent position, will not open up. Seat, I believe, 45,000 for baseball and 55,000 for football.
Second and 10 for the Oilers as Blanda checks the defensive situation of the Los Angeles Chargers. Pitches out to Billy Cannon. Cannon tries to get outside by Zeman. A very sure tackle, and some further action continues as Ron Neary and Fred Wallner get into it. The official gets in between them. Wallner and Neary starting to go at it. We had a bit of a Donnybrook here early in the ball game that added the excitement of this contest. We have 7.5 minutes remaining in the game. 7.5 minutes remaining in the championship contest. Third down and 6, the situation. From the 25-yard line. An 8-point lead for Houston. Blanda bootlegs the ball, rolls to the right. George throws to Hennigan. Hennigan out of bounds at about the 11-yard line for another first down. Charlie McNeil was covering on the play, but a very difficult pass to cover, a difficult one to hit on for the quarterback. But there's Hennigan who caught it. And he's played an outstanding ball game here this afternoon.
This Blanda is really a money player. He was missing some of them a little earlier in the game, but now as they come down to the wire, why, he's hitting them all right on the nose. You can smell that championship.
Chargers make a change in their linebacking spots. First and 10 to go. Blanda rolls this way now. Fakes once. Look out, George. Throws back the other way. It's caught by Hennigan. And Hennigan is out of bounds at about the 3. Charlie McNeil wrestled him out of bounds. Charlie had a good opportunity for a lateral there, but he wanted to make sure he held the ball. When you're in that close, there's no need to take any additional chances, and he thought perhaps that he could battle his way into the end zone. That stopped the clock over there. And a timeout is being called. Timeout called by Houston. 24-16 the score. The score here at Jefferson Stadium is Houston 24, Los Angeles 16. In the football game for the championship of the AFL. The Oilers leading 24-16 on second down. Dave Smith, the fullback, carrying the ball. Emo Karras made the tackle on him. And it'll be a third down play coming up. In about one. Dave Smith again. I think he got the first down, but he did not get the touchdown. Time called by the official. 6 minutes remaining in the game. Here's the measurement coming up. This is for the first down, of course. Well, that's how much they have to go for the first down. It'll be a fourth down play. Fourth down coming up. You saw the yardage necessary for the first down, and you can see how close it is to the goal line. Leading by 8 points, they're going to go for the TD. Dave Smith. How about that for a pilot?
I wonder what's the total weight of that tire.
Wouldn't be allowed on the highway, I tell you that. Measurement. Everybody was in on that play. Dick Chorovich led the defensive stand of the Chargers, and let's see if it paid off. No, they're short. The Chargers take over and hang in the ball game. Now, here's a little reminder. Out they come. Jack Kemp running the ball club from the shadow of his own goal line. Going to throw from the end zone. Throws to Norton. It's complete. He's out of bounds. Mark Johnston. Womble comes to the right. Don Norton to the left. Ferguson and Lowe in the backfield. Lowe's back to Kemp, back to throw, and he hits Norton again. Norton is out of bounds at about the 14.
Imagine they would have to do that.
Womble to the right, Norton to the left. Kemp pitches to Lowe. Lowe cuts in. Lowe gets a block. Cuts back inside again. And he's almost to the 35 before Dennett Morris, number 50, put the final stop on it. Talking to Charlie Flowers along the sideline, number 41. Kemp back to throw. Throws out here to Kosurik and nothing doing. It's 2nd and 10 from the 34. Kemp rolling out, still looking, throwing, and it's caught beautifully by Kosurik. Dave Kosurik with a brilliant catch on a pass by Jackie Kemp. Bobby Gordon there to tackle him. Clock continues to run. It's a first down for Los Angeles on their own 47. 3.5 minutes remaining. Kemp back to throw. He's down back there. Jackie Kemp really got smeared by Bobby Gordon, the halfback, who came up fast and really made the tackle. That was a winning play, George. 3 minutes remain in the game. Bobby Gordon took quite a chance, but made it pay off. A loss of 10 at 2nd and 20 from the 38. Kemp looking. Look out, he's down again. It'll be third down coming up. Delva Allen covered him. Kemp stayed in the pocket as long as he could. Way downfield was Womble, and on the other side of the field, Dave Kosurik. It's third down, and it is 3rd and 24. Kemp throws over the middle of the fullback, Ferguson, and they make a sure tackle on him. And it'll be a fourth down play and about 10 coming up. Howie Ferguson caught the ball. 2-minute warning is now being given. 2 minutes remain in this championship game. Houston is leading by 8 points, 24-16. The score here at Jefferson Stadium is Houston 24, The Chargers 16.
Really an unusual call. 4th and 10 back there at midfield, and they called the running play around end. I guess they figured that was their strongest play, has been their best play all year, to send low around the end with all that blocking in front of him, and it sure paid off.
Charlie Flowers was in there to lead the blocking. Gives way to Howie Ferguson at the fullback spot now. By the way, right after the ball game, we're going to attempt to get for you on camera and on the microphone some of the performers in this ball game. We'll try to get Jackie Kemp and Paul Lowe and Billy Cannon, some of the standouts, to visit with you following the completion of this football game. George, there's your baby right there.
That's a picture of the new stadium, or a picture of a model of the new stadium that they are going to start building very shortly here in Houston, Texas. And the Oilers will be playing there in 1962, as will Houston's new National League baseball team. We'll seat 45,000 for baseball, 55,000 for football. There you see it set up for football.
We have 1:35 remaining in the game. It's 1st and 10 for the Chargers, who trail by 8 points. They have the ball on the 28-yard line of the Houston Ball Club. Houston in an 8-man line right at the moment as Kemp checks the ball club and goes back to throw. Looks and throws over the middle, and it's incomplete, intended for Norton. And he was covered by Mark Johnston. And that play came very, very close to being a completion. And Johnston is limping as he tries to get back to his position. It's 2nd down and 10. Will Kemp look for Norton again? He throws over the middle of Flowers. Flowers catches the ball. Hugh Pitts, the linebacker, made the stop on him. And Los Angeles wants to call a timeout, and they do, to stop the clock. This will be a 3rd down play coming up. 3rd and about 4 on it. Boy, what a big play that was earlier on 4th and 10. The 3rd down play. This is a big one. Kemp sets the ball club. Ferguson is back in there. Blocking for Kemp, who looks. Throws out here to Norton. Incomplete. And the defensive man, Tony Banfield, had fallen. Norton faked to the inside. He caused Banfield to fall. I think Johnston's going to try to go back in. No, he's limping rather perceptibly along the sideline. This is back in there at the fullback spot. 4th and 4. This is the big play of the big game. Kemp looking for Norton in the end zone. Incomplete to Kasurik. And Houston takes over. Norton was in the end zone, and he was clear for a moment, frantically signaling for the ball. Bobby Gordon and Dennett Morris were covering Kasurik, for whom the pass was thrown. There's a scramble for the ball, and the police officers are in a bit of a hassle. Blanda running the ball club. 1st and 10 to go. Another football is on the field as Billy Cannon runs to the outside. He wants to stay in bounds, of course. He's down on the 25, and Los Angeles calls timeout to stop the clock. 1:14 is the time remaining. Minute and 14 seconds. Houston Oilers, 2nd and 7 from their own 25. Just 1:14 away from the title. And you could really see Cannon hanging onto that football, clutching it with both arms as he barreled into the line up to the 30. Dick Chorovich making the tackle on him. Less than a minute left in the contest. 24-16. Houston leading Los Angeles. Once again, it's a give to Billy Cannon. And Cannon battled pretty close to a 1st down with that ball. Let's see, another skirmish breaks out. Ron Neary is in the middle of things again. And he is scrambling down there with Hogan Wharton. The official is getting Wharton out of the ball game. Hogan Wharton is being thrown out of the ball game. Dick Chorovich is down on the ground. Ron Neary is the one who got into the hassle with the Oiler player. Meanwhile, of course, the clock is stopped. Of course, that could be an injury feigned by the ball player of the Chargers to stop the clock if possible. The ball is on the 17-yard line. Still waiting for Chorovich to get off the field. He's having a lot of difficulty. And that's what's holding the play up right at the moment. And he's a big man to carry off a 260-pounder from Miami of Ohio. Okay, now we're ready to resume. 3rd and 15, the situation. 15 seconds remaining in this championship game. This could very likely be the final play of the contest. Billy Cannon has it. He's wrapped up. The clock is running. Count them off. The fans here in Houston who have rooted for the Oilers ready to let out a roar when that final gun goes off. The clock is still running and the ball game is over. And Houston has won the championship of the American Football League. The first season, the referee gives the ball to Lou Rimkus, who chases across the field to shake hands with the losing coach, Sid Gilman. And there you see the after-game activities as the Houston Oilers have won the American Football League Championship by 8 points here this afternoon, 24-16. And some of the ill feelings that prevailed during the ball game have now disappeared, as well they should, under the cover of good sportsmanship.